Rabbi Werfel is still with us, Baruch HaShem, despite his attendance yesterday at the Minyan. And so I saw the boys were surrounding him when he came in. They wanted to hear what happened. I said maybe the entire yeshiva should get to hear from a witness, hear his testimony regarding what happened yesterday and what he took from it. Rabbi Werfel.
Two things before I give you the details. First of all, if I start crying at any point, it's not because I'm traumatized. I'm not. I don't think. It's because the people that died and are badly wounded, I know they're not super personal friends of mine, but when you daven in the same shul, the same minyan, and live in the same neighborhood for 11 years in the same or more, so you get to know who's who, and you get to know, you see people daven, you see people how they act, and you see how what elevated neshamas they are, what elevated souls each one of them is. And the other thing is, having lived a good part of my married life in America and a good part over here in Eretz Yisrael, one of the things that I wasn't able, I intellectually understood but never internalized when I was in America, was that, which is here, you can't avoid it. If you have your eyes open and you live here, you see it not only in a national sense, but you see it in your own personal life every day, all the time. And that is that not just HaShem rules the world in a general sense, in a macro sense, but He's involved with our lives in every little thing. Every little thing. Obviously, we have to do our shtadlus, we have to make our effort, but He He is the one in charge. And the reason why I point that out is because after I give you the raw facts, and then I can tell you, since I daven in the same minyan 99% of the time for the last 11 years, in the same sitting in the same spot, so you get to know who davens, who comes, who's a regular, who's not. I'll tell you there's several examples of that amplify this point of Hakadosh Baruch Hu being in charge. And therefore, and the other thing that I've internalized is, so therefore when you're dealing with something that He's in charge of and you have no control of, so I've learned not to worry about it. I've learned not to worry about it because there's no point. I can't change it. It's not in my intellectual sphere. I can't change it. It's going to happen, and I won't know necessarily when it is, whether it's positive or negative. It's all positive, but it's going to happen, and I have no control, so I don't worry about it. I think that helped me through this experience. So what happened was in the same minyan as yesterday morning. So the way it works is that our minyan starts, so it always ends at 7:15. So if there's Kriyas Torah, it starts early. If it's not, it starts later. If there's Rosh Chodesh, it starts even earlier. So it always ends at 7:15. It's the only minyan like that in Har Nof that I know of, which suits my purposes very well. Then at 7 o'clock, upstairs in the main shul, which is the biggest shul in Har Nof, they have the regular minyan, which maybe 50 to 80 people are in every morning. Ours has 15 to 25. And yesterday morning was pretty light. Maybe there was 15 or 17 tops in the minyan. So that's how we start. And then the other thing is you need to know is the layout of the Beis Midrash where I daven. You come into the building. If those that have been in Rabbi Reuben's shul know, you come in to the lobby. Immediately to the left is a stairway that goes up to the main shul. And then if you go straight ahead, you walk right into the Beis Midrash where the first minyan where I daven is. And that minyan, so you walk in, you're sort of a slightly left center. So on the whole left side is all tables and chairs, all from wall to wall, where people can daven. 2 rows, I think, or 3 rows. Then there's a bima in the center. And on the right side, where I daven and sit, there's an Ezras Noshim first, and then only 4 rows of seats. So you're walking into the shul, or running into the shul, whatever you're doing, you can't really see the right side. Your focus is on the left where all the people are, especially if you're a terrorist and you want to cause some trouble. That's where you're going to be focused. That's where the action was. I was on the other side. So why I'm here is because I'm on the other side to begin with. So I did not see the worst part of it, which probably also another reason why I'm not traumatized. Because even if I survived whole like I did, but if I was in the middle of this whole shooting, chopping, the whole thing, it's a whole different experience than if all I did was, when I heard the shots, we ducked on people on my side, either ran out the door or ducked under the table. And then, I'll tell you later what happened. So these guys came in, two young Arabs. Each had a small pistol, and they had a meat cleaver with a blade like this. So they came in, they shot two people in the hallway. I found out later, killed two people there because they were coming in to go upstairs. And then they ran straight in, which they could see where people were. They went to our place, and they started shooting two people. The other two people that died were mamish. As soon as they would walk in, they were right next to them. I don't think they had the greatest aim. I don't think they were professional marksmen, because these two people, they were right next to them. Right, literally close, right next, like, let's say this close. So it's pretty hard to miss. But other people, they were wounded because, or whatever, they were further away. Anyway, so suddenly there's, you're davening for years, and you don't expect this to happen. Suddenly there's shots, and there's screaming and noise, and I see them running. So on our side, there were maybe 5 people, 3 of whom were smart enough to there's an exit door right where on my side. They were smart enough and intelligent enough to run out the door. And this Dr. Hesching, who davens in the Minyan a lot, lives across the street, and he and I were not so smart. We ducked under the tables and stayed there until they ran out of bullets. When they ran out of bullets, then everybody else on the left side ran out. Whoever was shot or badly or dead or whatever was probably lying on the floor. I didn't see any of it, so I'm ducking under the table. And then they saw us, and they came towards us. So it's 2 and 2. So the doctor he's also pretty smart. He lifted up. There's a table that's about 4 feet. 2 people. This is a 3 people table. It's 2 people table, but heavy, made out of solid wood. And so he picked it up and used it as a shield, and I did the same. Smart thing to do. And there was we each had one confronting us. Now the gun was useless at that point. They only had the meat cleaver, which I wasn't interested in testing to see how sharp it was. So we used our tables as shields. So it was probably, the whole thing probably was 20 seconds. But when you're when you're in the Inyan, it seems like an eternity. But also you get adrenaline. That's for sure I know I had. First of all, to hold the table, and as long as I did, whatever, and have maneuverability with it. And also, I wasn't scared, probably for the background I gave you, but I was very focused on surviving. And I look on this guy, and I wanted to kill the guy. If I could, I would have. And I'm not a violent person, but that was the feelings I had at the time. Because, I didn't know what he had done yet. But he's a rodate. If he's coming after me, I want to kill him. That was and I'm sure it showed in my eyes, because maybe he was 6 feet away from me. And we were staring at each other for quite a while. He didn't know what to do. So I saw in his eyes, first of all, no bloodlust, even though he just killed some people. But he wasn't a high or anything else. He was just normal. And I'm looking him in the eye. I'm sure he saw that. First of all, I'm much bigger than him. And also he saw that I was not scared. I was mamish, very focused. So he didn't know what to do. He couldn't go around the table. He couldn't reach me with the knife. So it was like a standoff. I'm holding the table, and he's standing there, doesn't know what to do. The other guy takes a swing at the doctor, misses him, and then the doctor called me last night to tell me he saw the guy start to reload his gun. So when he did that, the doctor had the presence of mind finally to walk out the door. So when I saw him walk out the door, I said, "This is a very good idea." So I did it also. And we went out, and then we were down, and one of the wounded people who's doing much better this morning. He had surgery last night. It only looked like I thought the guy had used the cleaver to cut his ear off. His ear was almost off, and his shirt was a bloody mess. But he was walking, and he was in shock, but he was talking. Turned out a bullet had gone that way, and it missed his brain like by this much. So he had no vital organs, and he was like talking and asking questions about what bracha should I say this morning. Because my Chavrus is very close with him, with his family. So H-shem, he's doing better. The other wounded person who I know very, very well is also a special neshama. He's not doing so well. He was hit by the machete on his head, his shoulder. I don't know. That's what they told me. And he's still not too. I didn't hear an updated report, but so I don't know for sure. And the 4 people that I know them very well, and each one in his own right was just very special, very special. Anyway, so the hashgacha, besides the negative hashgacha for the people who killed and hurt, as I said, I know who comes and who isn't in the minyan. I'll give a few cases of what happened. There's a person who comes over 90% of the time to the minyan. Now again, if you sat on the left side, people escaped unhurt on the left side, but if you were in the line of fire, you were not going to come out well. So one person who I know, a friend of mine who's davens 90% of the time. Yesterday morning, he had a late night the night before. His wife had to do I don't know, whatever. So he got up a little later, and he didn't come to. He went to a later minyan. He would have been in the line of fire. The one who I told you with the bloody shirt, was sitting just in front of where he always sits. But he wasn't there. He wasn't there. It wasn't his time. Hashem made to do. And another person who by now, he's in now probably early 70s, I think, I would guess. But he's sharp as a tack. But his back, his legs, he has to use a walker now. So he's very not mobile. But he takes a cab every morning, and someone gives him a ride home after davening. Yesterday morning, the cab didn't show up. Didn't show up. He's here every morning. The cab shows up. The cab didn't show up. And where he sits with the bima, which I told you, on the left side of the bima, behind it. And he can't move very well. So he wouldn't have survived. Because they went right in. They would have been right there. It wasn't his time. It wasn't his time. The Baal Tefilah, who himself is a Baal Tshuva, who served in the Army, Air Force, I don't know, years ago, and all he does is sit and learn now, because he became a Baal Tshuva, I don't know how many years ago, at least 25, 30 years ago. Also a very special person. So he's an Avel, he's an Avelis, so he has the Yomad down. Every morning he davens for the Yomad in our minyan. He's a kohen. So when you're kohen, you're davening for the Yomad, what do you have to do? You have to wash before you do Chazar Sashatz. And then take off your shoes and then start davening. So we hit Shmona Esrei on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. We start at 6:25. We do Shmona Esrei at 6:50. Silent Shmona Esrei. So most people finish around 7 minutes or so. He takes about 8 minutes. He takes a little longer. He takes pretty much every time 8 minutes. So it means at 6:58 he stops. He's finished davening. He goes out, and in the lobby there's like a coffee nook with a sink near the bathrooms. So he goes over there, I presume, to wash. He goes in the bathroom or he goes there. At that moment is when they came in to the lobby and so on. So they missed him totally. Had he been already a minute later, he would have been davening, and he was with his back turned to them at the front. He would have been, an easy target. But he was there, and he could run out after that. He was not there, which is a kohen, and he's an avel, and he has the yomud. So you say, 3, fluke, look. No. This is Hakadosh Baruch Hu. This is Hakadosh Baruch Hu in everybody's life, every single minute. And I'm probably forgetting 1 or 2 other things. I'll give you one thing just for me. All right? I'm 11 years I'm davening that minyan since we bought where we were. In that particular minyan, and I sit in the same, unless someone's in the seat, I sit on the right side. Why? I always sit on the right side for Shachris. I never sit on the left side, even if it's crowded on the right side and my seat is taken, whatever it is. I always find the seat on the right side. I'm talking how many times a year? 300 times a year. Always. Why? I don't know, because I'm used to sitting on that side. Why did I pick the right side 11 years ago? when we moved from one where they originally were renting and they moved across the street to the shul. Why did they pick that side? But yesterday, probably saved my life. Obviously, you see the threads. You see the threads. And this is the way it is in all of our lives. The first is you have to, the challenge is to see it and recognize it and realize. And then, once you realize it, then you can work on the things that you have control over and leave to HaShem with the stuff that He has control over. And that's pretty much, the one thing I was very happy about, that, and I have a feeling that they've been told, the security people in the country have been told that from now on, when you're in a gunfight with the terrorists, make sure that they don't survive. A friend of mine was more into that. He said he thinks that's it, but I think from what I saw, was when the terrorists came out and they had the gunfight with the police. So one guy, I was like behind the dumpster, about 10 yards away, when they were there, because I don't want to get be in the line of fire. So I saw one guy fall, the terrorist, fall on the ground, and they pumped him about 15 times. I was making sure he was probably dead anyway. He could have just one time in the head would do, but they made sure he didn't survive. Which to me is very good, because you can't, you see what happens in this country. These guys are released a few years later. Some bleeding heart on the left decides, pull up house and make a trade and get them out, and then they're better educated. So that was.
You keep saying you're not traumatized. You said in the beginning a couple of times you're not traumatized. Why are you telling us that you're not traumatized?
Because I'm not traumatized. No. I talk about it a lot because that's helpful, and I slept pretty good last night, and
Hakadosh Baruch Hu is watching you.
That's it. I'm here. HaShem it wasn't my time yet. That's all. How can I tell you? It wasn't my time.
I have a question. I know you said that you're not traumatized, and I completely understand that. I know you said you're not traumatized. I understand that. But nonetheless, looking back and thinking about it, what shakes you up most?
The people that we lost. Yeah, that's it. For myself, I know. I understand how I prefaced everything. Wasn't my time, and that's it. That's why I'm here. But for these people that I know, I mean, one was 59, one was mid-50s. There's almost 30 Yisomim, young, and two of the, one of the wounded and one of the nifter have lost children of their own. When the nifter lost a daughter, I think she was sick a lot. 2 years ago, she was 11 years old. And the one who was wounded badly from the knife, he lost it about 10 years ago. His oldest was in the yard outside of Har Nof I. He was riding his bike and he fell and he died. So these people went through a lot. And there they have more. So they said it to that wasn't Rabbi Reuben. Somebody said it to levaya. He said, there's three shutfin, there's three partners in a child, and the mother, the father, and H-shem. So you lose one, he gives double power to the other one. He gives a double portion. And
how after this tragedy you have such emunah? How you get the power to such emunah to understand that everything is from HaShem?
You have to, because if you have things happen in your life. Everybody has neshamas in their life. So you say it's this one's fault, that one's fault, or you say just, we have good and we have bad in our lives. We think it's good and bad. But we have to understand it's all good. In the end, it's all good. So if you say, I don't want this, I don't want to go through HaShem, this experience I had yesterday, I don't want it. I want to exchange it. That's kafoi tov. It's good. It's all good. You just have to understand why is it good? Where's the good coming from? Maybe we won't understand. Maybe we won't understand till after 120. But we have to understand that it's good, because that's all He does with us. It's good. Even though can't understand, I don't understand this, what happened yesterday. I know these people were elevated neshamas, but so what? They still have plenty of life, plenty to give, and plenty of their families and their. I have no explanation. I don't know.